Welcome back. Vice President Mike Pence was in Wisconsin yesterday touting America's workforce and promoting the U.S. Mexico Canada agreement. And not to be outdone, VP hopeful Kamala Harris was in Wisconsin as well yesterday to meet with Jacob Blake's family and his legal team. As we know, Hillary Clinton neglected that battleground state in 2016 and then somehow lost to then candidate Donald Trump by fewer than 28,000 votes. It was supposed to be a blue state. Former Vice President Joe Biden also visited Wisconsin recently following the riots in Kenosha. So it looks like the Democrats are not going to fall asleep on this battleground state again this time. Here to discuss that with us is Wisconsin congressional candidate and former Navy SEAL Derrick Van Orden. So thanks for coming on. We do appreciate it. Before we talk politics, we want to ask you just about this big story in the Atlantic that made the president look so bad. And John Bolton, not a fan of the president, had a response. Let's go ahead and take a listen.
According to what that article said, the president made disparaging remarks about our soldiers, the people buried at the An Marne Cemetery, in connection with the decision for him not to go to the ceremony that was planned that afternoon. And that was simply false. I don't know who told the author that, but that was false.
Well, there you have it. And again, as somebody that doesn't like the president, what do you make of that?
Right. Well, I'm going to have to disagree with you. That did not make the president look bad. That made the Atlantic look bad for publishing a story that's clearly untrue. That the event happened in June. Then Mr. Bolton released his book that savaged the president. And if you don't think that he would have written that into his book to sell more copies, you're just wrong. So we know simply by that fact that it's untrue. Also, this president has done more for the military than any president in recent memory. You got to remember, I served under from Reagan on, and it was 8 dark years under the Obama administration for the military. They essentially defunded us. The rules of engagement were just a mess. We were involved in endless wars over and over and over again. So President Donald Trump gave us a huge pay raise, and he also is removing us from these endless wars. So the actions of the president of the United States, Donald Trump, speak much louder than these words that were clearly made up by someone with an axe to grind against the president. And I categorically deny that these took place or that he made these comments.
Sure. Let's talk about the election. We're about 2 months out. Wisconsin is supposed to be a safe state for the Democrats in national elections. It wasn't in 2016. And let's look at a poll here. Right now, you've got Joe Biden ahead by about 6 points, according to this poll, if you trust this poll. You've got Kamala Harris and Joe Biden in there trying to do work. Everybody's in there trying to do work. Who's looking better at this point, in your opinion?
Well, from my perspective here, you got to remember, we've knocked on thousands and thousands of doors already. Democrat Party's not knocking on doors. We go around, we speak to people in a safe and a manner that they are willing to engage with us. And I would say it's 30-1 for signs at a minimum. We had thousands of people attend multiple boat rallies and car rallies over the last few weeks. And the enthusiasm for the election of the president of the United States in 2020 is just unheard of. And I would like people to think about it in this way. In 2016, a lot of people were just simply voting against Hillary Clinton. In 2020, people are voting for Donald Trump. They've seen what he's accomplished over these last 3 years against just intransigence from the Democrat Party. He was still capable of doing such great things. And that strikes a chord in my district because we're a very hardworking, family-oriented district. We are the heartland of the heartland. And that's who Donald Trump speaks to. And quite frankly, Joe Biden doesn't, nor does Ms. Harris.
You know, Derrick, speaking of the heartland, you never thought you would see what's happening in Kenosha. We just talked to Paris Denard about the unrest that's happening around the country. I want to pull up a New York Times article that was from a couple weeks ago, but, you know, it speaks specifically to Kenosha. It says how chaos in Kenosha is already swaying some voters in Wisconsin. Are you seeing this play out? Are voters changing their mind?
Absolutely. Listen, first and foremost, we want security for ourselves and our family, our children. We want to make sure that we can go shopping at any time during the day or when stores are open in the evening without worrying about a riot taking place. So when people say that there's a gap between Donald Trump and suburban moms, I think they're absolutely wrong, because suburban moms want to make sure that their families are safe. The security of our families and children is paramount to all of us. Let's remember that. So this is absolutely striking a chord. Another thing about leadership, very interestingly enough, that Joe Biden had to wait until polling was taking place to come out and say that Antifa was bad and that violence is bad. That's not leadership. That's just simply reading a poll. Now, Donald Trump immediately came out and condemned this violence, as do I. It's just inappropriate. So you want a leader, go with Donald Trump. You want someone that can read a poll result and have a piece of paper stuck in front of him that he can read into a camera, vote for Joe Biden.
You speak about the difference in their leadership. We saw AP come out with a report just yesterday that was asking, can he ride this law and order narrative? How long can he ride it? Do you think that this law and order message is resonating, and will that last up to the November election?
Yes, of course, it has to. I don't think that Antifa at any point in time is going to back away from committing violent acts against civilians and our police officers. The people of the United States of America and Wisconsin want to make sure that the police are funded and that they are capable of doing their job, which is to protect and serve. Antifa doesn't see it that way. They see these people as an oppressive group that are trying to do, I don't even know what they're trying to do. What Antifa thinks about the police is that they're trying to destroy these institutions so that they can insert a socialist agenda. And that doesn't fly here in Wisconsin. It doesn't. We are hardworking people who want to be able to go and support our families through the sweat in our brow and the work of our hands. And Antifa is the antithesis of that. They want to destroy our institutions and bring in a social system that is predicated on being dependent on the government. And we're not that way here in Wisconsin.
That's very well said. Sir, you have you got a great story. You're running for Congress in Wisconsin. Tell us that story for those that don't know.
Sure. I was raised in abject rural poverty, my brother and I, by a single mother. My father was simply just not an honorable man, and she taught us a work ethic, and to take care of people is very, very important. I dropped out of high school when I was 16 years old because I thought I knew everything. Joined the Navy when I was 18. I got a GED, and that turned into 26 years of service. I was so honored to be able to serve our nation for 26 years. Over 21 of those, I was a Navy SEAL. I deployed to combat 5 times during that period of time. I've been married to my wife for 27 years. We have 4 kids that are educated to the level they would like to be. We have 6 grandchildren, own a home. That is the American dream. And if you can't see that it's real, then you're just not looking. So this is the most fantastic country in the history of the world. And I'm so proud to say that I'm going to be serving as a congressman from my state of Wisconsin coming next year, because Ron Kine, the dude I'm running against, he just doesn't get it.
Yeah.
So he's sitting in my desk and he just doesn't realize it yet.
Well, good luck to you, sir. And that was very well said. We do appreciate your time.
Well, thank you very much for having me. And you guys have a wonderful day. God bless you. You're doing great work.
You too. Thank you. All right, one of the first universities to open during COVID-19 was Liberty University. We're going to talk to the dean of the school, the business school, about how that's going. Plus, we're going to ask him about Biden courting the evangelical vote. Coming up next.